Hello, everybody. I'm sorry for the confusion. I thought I had my YouTube Live set up just right, but I'm having technical difficulties. So I didn't want to not have my Upstyle Your class today, Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin class. So I'm jumping on to my Seeing Ink Spots Facebook business page. So hopefully, eventually, somebody might find me, because this wasn't the plan. I had planned to move it over to YouTube, but we'll get there someday. Anyhow, welcome and good Thursday morning. It is time to stamp. My name's Elizabeth Price, and today's class is all about the Nests of Christmas Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I have several alternatives to share with you today, along with a little bit of business about what's happening with my classes this month and next month. There's lots happening, and you are all always invited. So I hope you'll join along. So, hello, Karen. Glad you found me. And I'm looking forward to today's class. So let's begin with a quick twist of the video camera here, and we'll begin. So here comes the hand. I know it's your favorite part, right? I love it. It's so interesting. We'll switch that camera view here. See what we got going. Take the cord out of the view there. Okay. All right. We are in for business here. Okay. So what do we have coming up here? We have, well, today's class, you know, we're upstyling our Nests of Winter, so that's what's happening. Next week, we are going to upstyle the nests, not upstyle, we're going to use up the Nests of Winter DSP. So I've had some of that paper, and I wanted to use it all up, and kind of right here in the fall, early holiday season. So that's what we're going to do. So today is Nests of Christmas, and you'll see some similar images, but then we're going to change things up and add it with the paper. But I thought what would be fun, here's what I'm going to do. I do not have the bundle for this. I only have the paper, and I have the gems and the twine, but I'm going to use the paper, and I'm going to pair it with the Greetings of the Season stamp set. I think that would be a fun one to go with that. And you know what? I'm going to pull out these are the Country Birdhouse. I'm trying to see if I can get that. There it is. The Country Birdhouse dies. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Greetings of the Season and Country Birdhouse to kind of go with this. And I think it's going to be a fabulously fun class. So join me for that. That will be next week. In the Backstage Pass. You're not sure how to get into the Backstage Pass? Just leave a comment saying, how do I get in? And I want to be a member of your Backstage Pass, and I will share with you how to do that. So this month, technique class in the Backstage Pass will be the Reindeer Days Sweet Collection. And I'm going to be using, obviously, the Reindeer Fun Bundle and all the paper and the peppermints and the twine. It's going to be such a fun class. You can earn this class for free by purchasing on my current host code of $50 prior to tax and shipping. So, and then this will mail to you for free. So that's how you can get into the Backstage Pass. That's pretty cool, right? So that is coming up. That will be fun. Let me just give you, and that will finish November, because then we have Thanksgiving. So then starting in December, we will upstyle our paper pumpkin. This is the Filled with Joy. This is the Stockings paper pumpkin kit. So this is going to be fun. That's coming up. And in December, we will be using up the Snowy Scenes Designer Series paper. You can get this class for free by, so I mentioned that you could get this one for free with a $50 purchase. Excuse me. But you can get this one, the only way to get this kit for free. And you know what? I've already packed these kits. They are jam-packed with all kinds of stuff. I'm using up all my Christmassy stuff. If you have a $75 purchase on the host code, pre-tax and shipping, you get this class for free and this class. And that's the only way you can get this class is with the $75 purchase the month prior to. So that's what's coming up. And then the end of December, this will be my 5th annual calendar class. So here is the calendar from 2024. This is just the front cover, but you can see it's just jam-packed with stuff. Your kit comes with the bound cardstock, and then we end up decorating page by page. It comes with everything you're going to need. You will provide the Regal Flora bundle, and I will provide the rest. I'll provide the design work, all your bits and pieces, your gems, ribbons, all kinds of stuff. So this is just kind of an example of what 2024 was. 2025s will have, it'll be kind of set up the same, and these kind of stand up on their own. So they're kind of cool, kind of fun. They can stand up right on your desk and you just flip the pages over throughout the year. So I mentioned I'm going to be using the Regal Flora, I keep saying floral, Regal Flora bundle. And this it's really pretty. It's in the September to December mini catalog. So you bring this and I'll provide the rest. Now, if you don't have this and need it, I can get this for you and ship it to you. On my blog is a place where you can register and see more details about this class. And you can also, like I say, sign up to join in that class right there. And it'll be a good time for all. So, and that will be December 28th. All right, that is enough business for today. Let's stamp. Okay, so my first project here that we're going to do, we're going to start with one of these card bases. And you can see that this little piece has already been punched out because I used it for something to prepare for today. So, hold on. Backtrack. I have the wrong project. Hold on there, Baba Louie. We are using this. This is coming up. Backtrack. We are using this card base. Okay. So this is the card base we're going to use. I just had to get myself in the right spot. My pages were kind of mixed up, but here we go. So you can see I've already punched this piece out, but this is a fun tri-fold. It's part of the kit. That's the way it came, other than me punching that out. And let's see here. I'm also going to be using one of these pieces here. Here is what I think is kind of fun to do with kits. And this is nice the way it is. It's nice that you can add the bird on here and you've got a fun little grouping. But I'm going to go ahead and separate these 3 pieces. And I'm going to do that because I like to have the freedom to be able to use these in, however I want. I just want a little bit more flexibility of how these are going to look. Okay, so I'm just trimming this apart, kind of trying to mimic the same measurement, the same around the edge. It gets a little tight right through there, but you won't notice that once you get going. And then I'm just going to take off this little bit for the bird. Okay. And like I say, this gives me a little more freedom to kind of move things around and position things in a little bit more of a custom way. And that's one of the very most fundamental things I do when I'm making alternatives, which I call upstyling, of your paper pumpkin kit. So here we have it. And so I'm just kind of chopping these apart. And now I have these 3 pieces to kind of play with and move around. Okay. So these are the 3 from the cutout we just had. And then we have this bird here. And so we're going to start by just doing a very simple card. We're just adjusting the layout that Stampin' Up! Had. I'm just going to wiggle it around just a little bit. I'm not doing a whole bunch. I'm going to use one of the tags from the kit. These are fun. And I'm going to stamp this with Happy Holidays. And I'm going to stamp it with the Shaded Spruce Spot, we always kind of start with pretty much just elements from the kit. But on this one, I think I might add some twine because I kind of really love twine and linen thread. In fact, I use those far more than I use ribbon. That's just me. So I'm getting this nice and inked up, and I'm going to stamp this straight down and then straight up. Okay, just a nice fun greeting there. And it leaves me a little bit of space right in here for what I'm going to do. And that is, first off, let's put dimensionals on the backs of all of these. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I didn't bring the dimensionals from the kit. That was kind of silly. But I have some of these on hand from another kit, so we will use these. All right, so like I say, I like to get a couple on the back of each of these just to kind of keep it from like spinning or kind of keeping it a little bit more straight, or however you're going to put it on, just a little more secure. Okay, so there are my pieces. Okay, and I mentioned that I might be using some additional thread. So this is what I'm adding to this card. And this is the Natural Tones linen thread, and this is part of the Nests of Winter Sweet collection. And so Nests of Christmas really coordinates beautifully with that sweet. This is just a little bit of a slightly different color palette, okay? So I am using that, and let's begin. Let's just kind of dry fit where we're going to add our elements here. So I'm going to have my Happy Holidays tag kind of right about there. And then this one that I've cut apart is going to kind of sit down here at the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to do a bird right up in here. And I might have to hide a little bit more of that. Little bird action right in there. And then we'll tuck this guy right in there. And then this piece here that we had, we're going to save this for another project. So we have some elements that we can use for another project. Okay, so let's just kind of add these on here. I'm going to start with this one. Okay. Just kind of tuck that. Whoops, I've got a little bit of didn't punch it out all the way. We don't want that, so I'm just going to do a little bit of that right there. Then we'll bring in the Happy Holidays. Layer this one right on top. And then this one here, I'm going to kind of let it dive down. You know, some of that's going to kind of hang into the label here. I'm going to move my dimensional just a bit. In fact, I'm going to put it on there. There we go. Now I know it won't be crooked or, you know, lopsided. So there's my bird. Here's my other bird. I'm just going to tuck him right in here. Cute. Super cute. Super simple. Just a slight alteration of their elements. And I feel like I could almost bring him just a little bit more this way. That he nuzzles into his buddy here. Okay. And then with our linen thread, I'm just going to tie a bow. Nothing crazy and fancy. But I already have a piece kind of just cut off here, ready to go from that Natural Tones. So this green, it's a little bit different. So this is more garden green, but I think it picks up some of these other colors. I'm not going to worry that it's not shaded spruce or, you know, the exact color of what we've got going here. This is a lot of shaded spruce, but I also think there's, you know, the green is fine. I call them clashing greens. I do a lot of clashing greens and clashing reds at Christmas time, and I think it's really pretty. Just putting all those reds together. So now I'm just playing with where I want to add my linen thread to this. Maybe I will tighten up this bow just a little bit more and tuck it behind him or her. So if I make that a little smaller, that could be fun right in there. Or I can also maybe add it to where it comes up from there. That is kind of fun. Ooh, I do like that. I think that's where I'm gonna go with it. And I can shorten those tails and tuck them in, or just as they open it, they pull through. It's just up to you what you want to do. I think I'm gonna make it just a skosh smaller. Okay, and I like to hold that knot when I am making bows, just to keep things tight. Now I will take my ends. Ooh, they're pretty even. I don't always do that. Usually I'm pretty lopsided, but I'm going to trim them just a little bit. And we'll put a glue dot on the knot. Oops, that's a sequins, not a glue dot. Here we have some past glue dots, some past paper pumpkin glue dots. And we'll just put that right on that knot. Okay. We'll take that little cover off, maybe. So, for those of you who are here, have you opened up this kit and started playing around with the bits and pieces? And have you enjoyed it? Welcome, Betty. It's good to have you here. Just curious what you guys are doing with this kit. So there is that, nice and easy. Like I say, you can tuck that in if you wanted, or you can leave it out, and as they open it, it'll kind of feed through. But I thought it would be fun. If you know me well, that I love Wink of Stella. I love things to have a little bit of a sparkle. So I am just gonna zhuzh up the pine boughs here. And these, I am not sure, and I am have a huge floral background. I've never seen red pussy willow, but okay. So I'm not quite sure. It's not a pepperberry, but we'll just do a little bit of that. Add that, and then I like to add just a little bit of flicking of my Wink of Stella clear glitter brush is the official name. And then let's add a greeting to the inside, keeping this simple and easy. We'll do one from the set here, the joyful thoughts to you this season. And I'm gonna keep this just with the green spot that came with the kit. Like I say, my first one, yes, we added a little Wink of Stella, and we added a little bit of the Natural Tones linen thread, but I'm trying to keep most of the elements for this card right from the kit, because this card would totally look quite a bit the same with or without the linen thread here, the Natural Tones linen thread and the Wink of Stella. So super, super simple here, just a simple little greeting inside, and then we have our card here. So very few changes to what they have, just a slightly different layout in our window here. But I wanted to use one of these cards as the trifold, the way the card kit came, pay honor to that. Okay, so there's card number 1. We are done. Let's move along to card number 2. Okay, so I have a couple, I don't know about you guys, but I cut things off and I use things and I move things around, and then we end up with bits and pieces, right? Well, what I want to do is, I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut this piece apart. So I'm going to cut the frame side off from this section here, and I'm just going to cut right in that score line there. And then I'm going to do magic. What I want you to do for this card is and this is going to be you're going to be able to make 2 cards out of this. But I'm going to put this top point at the 1.5 inch mark. And and it doesn't matter where on your trimmer you do this, but just tip that corner on this 1.5. And it's right there where the light gray ends and the dark gray starts. Then I'm going to take this bottom corner and I'm going to put it on the 1.5 mark. Okay, so let me lift this up so you can see. So there it is. So there's 1.5. Just follow it down. So there it is there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so now make sure it stays there. Okay, oops, I'm changing my mind. We're going to do it widthwise. So you want to do these two corners. That doesn't look right. Here we go. Oh, sorry. The dogs are going crazy. So top corner going widthwise. Hey, top corner, not you guys, hey, dog hey, right? Top corner at 1.5, bottom corner at 1.5. Now it looks more right. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't matter where you do it on your trimmer. It has, doesn't affect it at all. It will always turn out exactly the same. And you could do this at 1 inch and make it really steep. You could do it at 1.25. You could do it at 1.5, which is where I've done it. So it doesn't matter where you do it on your piece of along here, so long as you put the top corner at 1.5 and the bottom corner, opposite corners, at 1.5, you're going to get these two exact pieces. Look, they are exactly the same. I mean, talk about magic. So now I have these, and these can be used for my card bases, right? And so what I've done is I have cut myself a card base. So here is just some thick basic white, size-wise real, most common here, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25, right? And so now I can add this right to my card base, and I think this is kind of cool. It's kind of fun, which means I can make a second one. And I also did the same thing. So I didn't cut this one apart yet, but I had another card that I just had this middle section left. And so I cut this one apart. And so we could do this, and you guys tell me, should we do a pool party card or a shaded spruce card? Let me show you what the layout is, and then you guys tell me if we should go pool party or shaded spruce. So we're going to use some elements from the kit. Here is a larger spray here. Ooh, I like the pool party. Okay, and then we'll do one of the cardinals, just kind of sitting right in here. And then this is going to be a super simple card, you guys. And then we're going to stamp Happy Holidays kind of right in there. So you tell me, so should we do pool party? I'm loving the pool party. Or should we do the shaded spruce? So tell me, what should we do? Hi, Julie. How to cut I know, it's just kind of magic. Thank you for that. And then you can do two. And I've actually got 4 pieces. I have the 2 shaded spruce and the 2 pool party. So I think I'm going to do, since no one has said anything, and to move things along, I'm going to do the pool party because I like the contrast here. I think it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to start, though, by adding a few splatters of Wink of Stella up here to this top corner. Okay, and that's the only color I'm going to splatter there. Then we'll glue the Wink of Stella. You like the pool party too. I'm glad, Julie. Okay, Terry, I saw you pop on. Hello, sweet friend. Good Thursday morning. For those who didn't hear it at the very, very beginning, that's always my favorite part of class. Good Thursday morning. I know it's really, really dumb, the things that, that we like. Okay, so there's the pool party. Then we're going to add this with the dimensionals here. I'm going to take these and I'm going to clip these apart. Use these up, have a few bigger ones here. Can't believe I didn't bring a full sheet of dimensionals. I can believe I'm always leaving stuff off. Oh well. It's part of the fun of doing a live, right? This crazy lady here. Okay, so we'll add this, just like so. And I'm I'm gonna not go straight on that diagonal. I'm gonna smooth it out just a little bit, make it just a little less steep. And that will kind of help my greeting not feel quite so, it being straight across against that diagonal of the paper. It's just gonna soften that just a little bit. And then my cardinal's gonna come in here. And my cardinal, I have already a dimensional on the tail and on the head. And so I'm just going to kind of keep that at one level. But I'm not going to put that on just yet. But let's go ahead and we'll do the Happy Holidays. Let's do it We're still kind of working with some simple layouts here using our Paper Pumpkin kit and supplies. And so that means I'm going to use the little ink spot here. I do have some other ink pads out. I have Real Red, Bubble Bath. What's she going to do with Bubble Bath? I do have I have a full-size shaded spruce. I have Memento Black, and I have Balmy Blue. What am I going to do with Balmy Blue? I'm not quite sure. Okay, so now I kind of have that as my placeholder, and I'm going to bring my greeting in here. Just kind of stamp that right there. Nice. There's a hair, a little short fuzzball. Okay, so I think I'm going to peel this one off because it's not letting me really put my bird exactly where I want it. But I will get another one ready just in case, right there on the little bit closer down to the tail. That will allow me to move this up just a little bit higher, which is where I want it. Okay. Oops, I already peeled the back off that one on the bottom. All right. Yeah, Terry. Good Thursday morning. Okay, now, you know me, loving the twine. I am going to add some twine here. So again, this is, if you're joining on, this is from the Natural Tones linen thread. It is part of the Nests of not Nests of Christmas, Nest of Winter of that sweet collection. So I brought those out today. And if you missed the announcements, next week's class in the Backstage Pass is Use It Up Nests of Winter. So we kind of have Nests of Christmas this week and then Nests of Winter next week. So we shall see what we make. And if you also missed that announcement, I'm going to pair that because I don't have the Nests of Winter bundle. I'm going to pair it with the Country Birdhouse dies. Country Flowers dies. I didn't show those, but I'm thinking I'm going to bust those out as well. And I'm going to use the Greetings of the Season. So we'll have lots of stuff to work with. So since I already glued my bird down, I'm just going to kind of play with this and see kind of where we want to do some twine work. Maybe we tuck it in here or behind him, her, or maybe make it just a little bit smaller. Okay, again, hold that knot when you're tightening things. Grab your ends and even them out. And I think maybe what I'm going to do, instead of over in here, we're going to just keep this easy, and I'm going to do just a little hint of glue, and I'm not going to tuck it under. I'm actually just going to kind of lay it on top. Oh, that's cute too. Go in that direction. I mean, I like it this way, but I like it this way too. But I think I am going to originate it, kind of anchor it down here, but we'll maybe have it swing across. So I don't always put cards in envelopes. Sometimes I actually will tuck them just right into a gift or even in a clear envelope on the outside of a gift, and it kind of becomes the decor. So how about you? Okay, so just a tiny touch of glue right there. Okay. And then we'll let that set up right there in that little puddle of glue. And while I'm not going to move it too much, but I am going to, just give a little bit of sparkle to our beautiful cardinal here, and even the berries. Maybe should have done it before I put the little twine on. And we'll give just a little bit more because you can never have too much Wink of Stella, in my opinion. Okay, so you're a great distraction today. Mark's 3 months. Oh, Terry, I'm sorry. I love you to pieces. Big, big hugs to you. Okay, I do want to bring in, something. I love the iridescent faceted gems. If you joined for the A Little Bit Festive mini camp that I had a couple weeks ago, these are from that camp, so I'm using some of these up. So I'm just going to add a couple gems here. Just kind of have some fun with these. Just a few. Just a little bit of sparkle, adds a little bit of balance up into that side without being too visually heavy. Okay, by the end of class, my linen thread here, or Natural Tones linen thread, that little puddle of glue will have set, and that will be in just the nice, it'll be nice and tight. Now, since I didn't do it, I probably could have done the green on the inside, and I'll probably do that a little later, but fun layout, fun layout. So look at all these that I get to do. So I have this in green, and I have another one in the pool party. So that'll be fun to use these up. So good little technique there. If you missed that, watch the replay on that. It's really easy. Okay, so now next, what is up? Okay, so this piece right here, so from our first card, if you remember, here's our first card. I had already punched that out because I was kind of practicing where I wanted to put my elements. So here is that punch out, okay? So I love a good tag. And look at that. We could layer this onto a card, but hello, it makes a great tag. So I'm going to start with a hole punch right up here at the top. Now it's going to be a tag. And I'm going to use one of the labels here, these little banners, and we'll use one of the die cuts. And now I'm going to start venturing out into other products that I think coordinate beautifully with this Nest of Winter kit. Obviously, we have the Merry Tags and More. So this must be the Merry Tags and More, this little fern piece here. So I've taken this fern die and die cut a couple pieces here. Now that may look like shaded spruce, but it's not shaded spruce. It is shaded spruce, but it's not shaded spruce cardstock. See this piece right here? I was actually able to die cut. If you do it nice and tight, you can get 4 out of this piece right here. So I die cut myself 4 pieces of the fern greenery. That's where I found that paper to cut that. So that will be for this tag. We'll use the Merry in the tag in a few minutes here. Great little set of dies. They are still available. They're $12 for those 3. And I mean, come on, this tag right here with a little stitching around it, A+. Love it. Okay, so for my greeting here, let's see, what am I doing? I'm going to check my notes here. So these projects I've not made before. I sketched some things out, and then I'm going to play with how I'm going to do it. But I think I'm going to bring in some tuxedo black, and I'm going to stamp. Let's stick with the Happy Holidays for right now. We'll stick with that greeting wherever I put it, but it needs a little bit of a quick clean. Okay, and we'll stamp this right in the center. Let me bring this down a little bit. And I'm also going to bring in a piece of colored paper. So I'll bring in one of my card bases. I'm not going to ruin my card base. I'm just simply using it underneath my white tag that's on the white grid paper here. It's just giving me a little contrast so I can see where I'm stamping. Let's see if we can stamp this one a little straighter than my first card. You think I didn't notice. Okay, there's the Happy Holidays. And that is ready. I'm going to keep this out here a little longer before I actually start putting everything together while my tag is still flat and I don't have things up on dimensionals on the front. I'm going to stamp the back, okay? And this is what I'm going to do. I want to share with you how before we actually finish this little project here, how I store my paper pumpkin, because I use the kits and the only thing left over is the stamp sets, right? And so these are, look, I need to put some back right here. But I have 3 binders like this. These are the 6x8 Memories and More binders that we can get from Stampin' Up. But I do go on to Amazon and I find the recipe card holders. So Becky Higgins carries these. These are 4x6 but you get another pocket. So you have 4x6 and a 4x6. So I like this. This is my method for storing my Paper Pumpkin stamps. So here is from another book. I pulled out a bunch of the past Paper Pumpkin Christmas sets. And you guys, there's some great sets. But I was specifically looking for something like, oh, maybe this is going to be a good one. Let's bring this one out. Looks like some of it's going to be stuck to the page, but that's okay. We'll just pull these out. So I started, I used to not keep the one side of the paper, but I started keeping it, and it's kind of saving. So see how it doesn't have that other piece? It needs that other piece on top. But look at this one. I don't remember when it's from, but I'm specifically looking for this piece right here. I wanted a good to from. So I know oftentimes I don't think to go to my Paper Pumpkin stamp sets when I'm stamping. But man, I have a huge resource, so why not use them, right? So this says Mary on this side, but I'm going to go ahead and double up my block here. And we'll do a to from. Okay. And I'm going to ink it up in black. Well, no, I'm not going to ink it up in black. I started to. I think I'm going to ink it up in shaded spruce. But you guys, I'm tired of using that tiny little ink spot. I'm bringing in the big guns here. So I'm going to do my to from right about here. And I like to put these over to the left side so that I have plenty of room on my from, because our family is always coming up with the weirdest who things are from. They're never from like mom and dad. They're always from something very off the wall. So that is in the green. And then let's do joyful thoughts to you this season. We'll do that in the black. So we have a little color back here. We'll just hit this right up here at the top. Okay. Nice. We can move this out of the way now. And we'll just do a little splatter because it makes me happy. I love some ink of Stella. Some ink of Stella. Ooh, wouldn't that be pretty? Ink of Stella. Not wink, but ink. So it would be Stella, but in an ink pad form. Oh, that would be like gorgeous. Yeah, I'm going to make it. Yeah, right, like I can do that. Hi, Kathleen. Good to have you here. Okay, so now how's this going to come together? Pretty easy, pretty easy. So let's get some dimensionals going. There's that and that. And I'll do a little mini one right there. Okay, peel these off. And we'll just kind of set this right down here at the bottom. Okay, and let's get our bird ready. We'll put that one on first. So kind of similar to that very first card that we did, I kind of filled this little bit of negative space with the bird. Cute. And then my ferns are just going to kind of play in to here. And I might pick that up. And I'm just going to use that dimensional there to hold that fern in place. But it does mean I need now just a little bit of glue right there. So we'll just do a little squirt of glue underneath. You guys, that was not a little squirt of glue. It was a huge puddle. You know, it's kind of fun. But this one's just going to kind of come out this other side. I think I'm going to put a dimensional on this one. Just right there. Just to give this leaf a little bit of lift. And I'm going to tuck it under. It's kind of... Oh, so cute. Now, this is going to get even cuter because I'm going to finish it off. I believe in using up the products that we have before I start to fill my shelves with more new. This is the old black and white gingham ribbon. We have the vanilla in white, but this is the black and white. And so, if you know me, I like the ribbons on my tags to be fairly long. So I'm doing myself probably about, let's see how long it actually is. I've got it folded in half. So this is about 20 inches of ribbon. And why I do so much ribbon is because, and I'm just going to do a basic on this. I'm just going to fold this in half and tuck one end through. But the reason I like to do long tails is because I love to go to like Costco and buy their Christmas ribbon. And so I'll get several bolts and tie big, huge, fancy bows. And then I like to tie a pretty tag to the bow. But this is functional. It's not for looks, it's for function so that I can get in and tie around that bow. So that's why I do such long tails. If you ever wondered why she's got such crazy long tails on all her tags. Okay, so we got a zhuzh. Okay. It just brings it to life. It's like putting on your lipstick, I say. And give a few added sprinkles here and there. And there you have it. A very cute tag using the Nests of Winter and the Merry Tags and More. And go and find some of your things from the past. Look into your stash of supplies and you might find some really fun stuff. Okay, so that was our tag. All right, so now we're going to do something a little bit different. Whoops, just dropped all my pieces. Shoot, queen. Okay, gather them up. Okay, so this card base here, we're going to use this. I'm going to do just a little bit of, we're going to cut the frame off. And we'll use the frame on something else, not today, but maybe later. I did do a card for PPX. If you are a team member of mine or a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you might have seen what I did with one of these. But anyhow, this I'm going to not use, and I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to put the green side at 2 1/8. And I'm going to score it right down the middle. So now what we can do is I'm going to take my card, and rather than folding the card this way, I'm actually going to reverse the fold and fold it in this way. We've done this many times with our Paper Pumpkin card bases. And then fold this back. And now I've got an easy Z-fold card here. And then my plan will be to stamp the back. That's where you can put your greeting and sign your card. So here's our card base. Now, items that we're going to use on this card, let's see. We have some pieces from the kit. Oh, what's that there? I'll show you that. We'll make one of those. We've got a tag. We're going to use one of those ribbons. And instead of the, I just have some natural linen thread. I had a scrap on my desk. And here's another piece we're going to use, and another. All right, so this here, let me kind of just show you this. This is the tag. So this is the Merry Tags and More. I love the little stitching line. What's really cool about this tag, though, is if you didn't want that, that is so easy to just snip that right off. And then you have a nice, beautifully stitched rectangle here. So this is a nice standard shape. So A+, Dampen Up for that one. Okay, so let's start real easy here. I'm going to start by stamping my my tag here, and I'm going to put it under my card just so I have that contrast. And I'm going to stamp the word Christmas from the set here, and I'm going to stamp it in shaded spruce. And I'm going to bring it, it's going to be centered, but towards the bottom. Hi, Peggy. I'm glad you're here checking out a few upstyled Paper Pumpkin cards. So that one's just going to go right there. Ah, so pretty. It really is pretty. And then I'm going to stamp the word Merry. Let me take that Paper Pumpkin stamp off, the other one that we used last time. And I'm going to stamp this in real red. So let me bring out some real red here. And I like to stamp, I've been stamping, whenever I stamp these two together, I pretty much like to put the Merry right above it. Right above the muss of Christmas, right? So that's it on that stamping right there. And then we're going to just start to add our elements here. So this is going to kind of sit right in the middle. And you could do it down or up, but I kind of like, let's just kind of see where this is where I'm thinking it's going to go. But let me kind of give you a layout of where things are going to fit and sit. So this piece here is going to sit right about there. And then my bird, and we're going to talk about the bird here because this isn't the real deal. This is just on some scratch paper. We'll make another one on some white here, and I'll show you how I colored it. But I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a look of where these are going to be. Maybe bring this just a little higher. And then I'm going to work this ribbon and my linen thread right through there. And I have a frog in my throat. All right, I am going to do a little bit of stamping though. So get your shaded spruce out and the fern image, the pine bough image actually. It could kind of look fern-like too, depending on what type of fern it is. And I'm just kind of holding things in place. And I want a little bit, so I'm kind of seeing where that is. I want a little right in here. Okay. And I also want some coming out. So I'm just going to kind of hold my fingers. Nothing real technical here, but I'm going to do a little bit there. Oops, I missed some of it. Shoot, queen. That's okay. We'll have some there's going to be a little ribbon in there and another one right in there. So just adding a little bit of stamping. Okay. We'll put our pieces back. You can kind of see where things are going. That's going to look great. Yep. And, it might be that, I might just stamp this piece to the other side and maybe we'll bring this one down in here. You just never know. So we're playing with things. We've got a good idea of how things are going to come together, but I want to show the bird. So with some white paper, and I'm using just basic white, I'm going to, let's see here. Where's some basic white in my stash? Here's some basic white. I'm going to stamp the bird. Now this cardinal that's part of the stamp set is really, really pretty. And I'm going to stamp it in basic black, well, not basic black, but black memento. And we'll just stamp it. Whoops, let me get the feet and stuff a little better. Just stamp it right here on some scrap of white. I'm going to let that dry and really set into the paper for just a minute. And let me show you what we're going to color this with. We're going to keep it real obvious here, real red and pumpkin pie. While I'm letting that really sink into the paper, because sometimes if you color it right away, it can smear that memento ink. So I'm just holding back for a second. Let's stamp our banner here. And so for this, we're going to stamp the image that says joyful thoughts to you this season, but I'm going to stamp this in red just to bring some of that red to the other side. Whoops, my sleeve caught in my case. All right, hello, Cheryl. So this is just real red, and keeping this good and easy, we'll just stamp that right in the center. Oh, I did pretty good. I usually put it on some colored paper so I can see what I'm doing, but that little border around that is so strong, it made it easy. All right, so now I'm going to take my light pumpkin pie for the beak and my dark pumpkin pie. I'm just going to kind of do a little bit. I'm not going to color the whole thing, but I'm going to let the Stampin' Blends do their thing and let that light and dark kind of blend together. Didn't have to do a whole lot because it's just kind of a small little space. Now I'm going to take the, this is light, real red, and I'm going to give the bird, I'm going to give it a full coat. So I'm going to do everything. I'm going to color this whole thing in the light, real red. Just being careful not to be too crazy. Oh, hello, Kayleen. This was supposed to be a YouTube live, but I was having technical difficulties. I had it all set up, but it was just not connecting. So I switched over to here real fast. Okay, so that was light real red. Now I'm going to just take Stampin' Up's Q's here and add some dark real red to some of these areas and into the wing, down here at the tail feather. Okay, maybe a little bit more there. And then I'll take my light again and pull that dark in towards the center of the bird, just to kind of really blend those colors and get some shading, but not real strong definition in lines, if you know what I mean. So we'll fussy cut this. And this is a pretty easy fussy cut, you guys. It's not too bad. It's interesting, on the bird that they included in the kit, there's no feet on that one. I notice strange things, you guys. But I did, for my coloring of this cardinal, I did, I borrowed their, the one that we have in the kit. I just imitated that one. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to do it the same as they did. So, there we go. Just a little detail right in here. There you have a really pretty little cardinal. This is nice to have this image because, some of our other Christmas sets that we've had for Paper Pumpkin, we've had Santa Clauses and houses and gingerbread houses and front doorscapes and different things. It's just nice to have another kind of classic, iconic image for Christmas, but something we haven't really had. So, fun times here. Fun times. Hello, Tara. All right, I'm just putting some of this stuff aside here. Okay, so now we have our bird. Here's another one. This one I actually did on some of the leftover envelope paper. I had cut up an envelope, and so that's what that one is from. All right, let's get this tag on the go here, on the road. And I'm going to put this little piece. So this piece of ribbon is from the kit. And I know when Stampin' Up did their alternatives, their Paper Pumpkin alternatives, they asked if we liked these cut little pieces that were all ready for us. So you tell me, do you like them, or are you like, eh? Because I know my opinion. So I'm just curious, if you like them short, that's great. But to me, they're too short. I would like them just a skosh longer, or just give me the ribbon that I can cut myself. Because these are really short. Okay. But they do look good on the end of a tag like that. The tag die, Jacqueline, I know, it's awesome. It is totally awesome. The fur, yeah, we've used the fur. I'll bring this back in since you just popped on. I think you just popped on. But yeah, here's the fur on this tag here. Super simple. Keeping it really, really easy. So, yeah, these are all fairly simple. I don't have any like wild and crazy, get ready to take an hour and a half to make a card kind of cards planned today, if you know what I mean. Jacqueline, I'm laughing at Jacqueline. I do not like the dwarf ribbons. I'm with you. Because you just need a little bit more to make a statement. It's like, it's just too little. So there's my linen thread. And my linen thread has no, there we go. See how it's just kind of like lifeless right over here on this side. So I'm just running this tail. I'm pulling it through with my fingernail, and it gave it just a little bit more curl and a little bit more action. It didn't seem quite so just like it was hanging there. You know what I mean? I do not like the dwarf ribbons. I do not. Okay, so there's this tag. Now let's put all of these pieces together here. Okay, first things first, let's add our tag to the card. Okay, and I really don't like how maybe I can twist this. Oh, here we go. Sometimes you have to twist your ribbon. It's like, it's not really facing the right way. It's not jiving with me. So I just turned it 180 degrees. And now it seems to kind of look a little bit better. And then, of course, I untied part of it. And I'm trying to arrange my dwarf ribbon. Okay. Well, it is what it is. If I want those to lay a little neater, I'll fix them in a minute off camera here. Put your dimensionals just on the one side. So if you kind of put this like this, you'll see where you can put them. Okay, so we'll do that. Because you want this other side to not stick to the card. You want it to kind of do what I'm going to call kind of a little bit of a flip-flap. Oops, I'm smearing some stuff here. So it kind of, once you open it, you know, there's some freedom there, right? Okay, so now let's go with our bow. Just kind of lifting some of that. We'll stick that right there. And I'm just going to tuck a little glue underneath. Yeah, so that is, I didn't put that on dimensionals. It's just kind of underneath there. Okay, good. And now our bird will sit right in here. And then we have our other bow that's just kind of coming across. And I'm going to check and see, you know, it's like, do I want this one here? I also have another shape on hand. If you remember, we cut apart some stuff at the beginning. So, you know, you kind of have to play with things and go, do I like it this way or that way? Let's see here. So if we do this one kind of, I might have to cut some of that off. But I kind of like the way this is framing. And if we come down in there. I'm not impressed with my bow. You like that? I'm not impressed with my bow. Oh, there we go. That's what we're going to go for, folks. I'm just going to hold them together. And we'll stick it all together with some dimensionals. Okay, you like that? I'm doubling up there. But yeah, I'm going to cover up my stamping there. It just didn't, it's not gelling for me. But this is much nicer. I'll pull my hands out of the way so you can see. I really like it. It's sweet. Okay, I need to cut myself a few more of some dimensionals here. Using up some dimensionals. There. Okay. This one, we'll get a few gems and we'll put that tag on the back of the card. Yes, that's right, the back. Okay. I like this. Kind of sweet, a little different. Okay. Wink in the usual places. I like to usually get the, you know, if there's like an animal, I like to kind of enhance their faces just a little bit. Makes it kind of cute. Okay, and we'll do a little splatter to make me happy. Now the fun thing is you could right here, so this could go in a couple places. It could go right here so that when the card is closed, you don't see it, which I think I might do. And then you could put the, you could sign the back of it. But let's zhuzh this up a little bit. I have a plan in mind here, and that is to pull out one of the dwarf ribbons. Dwarf, yeah. Here they are. You can see I've used a ton of them. I had to dig them out here. So let's use one of these, and let's just have a fun little easy repetition. And this fits behind this banner. It just, just a little bit of it is going to show, is if we do it just kind of right here. Okay, so just a little bit of that peeking out. So we'll put that on with dimensionals. But yeah, I want to make sure it doesn't show on that end. Okay, so keeping it easy here, we'll do just a little bit of Seal Plus, and I'm going to run some of that right down my card or my banner here. And then we'll just add this right to the back. Okay, just a little bit's going to peek through, and we'll put some dimensionals on this. And I'm putting my dimensionals kind of half on the ribbon and half on the paper, okay? Just so it really has, sometimes if you just do the ribbon, the dimensional might pull off of that. So I wanted to give it some extra sturdiness. And I'm going to do this dead center so that when the card is closed, you don't see it. So when you open it, you get a nice little kapow. All right. And so then you can sign the back of this card. Okay. So you are getting Stellized. Okay. And let's put some gems on. Let's make this fun and add, let's do more of these. Okay. So I'm going to close this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 gems, and I'm going to do 3 that you'll see when the card is in this shut position. So I'm going to do like 1 kind of right in here. I can give it a buddy right about there. Okay. And we'll do another. I'm going to do a small, and I'm going to kind of just tuck it. Actually, I think I'm going to tuck it kind of right in here. Well, maybe over in here. Well, I don't know where to put them. I move them all around. I think I'm going to put it right in here. We'll put it right there. Okay, so these 3 kind of show 1, 2, 3. But then as this opens, I'm going to do another one up here, just to kind of balance. So when this is open, now I have 3 showing as well. So it's cutie, folks. I like the way this one turned out. Sometimes you have to play with things and find just the right layout. So there's an easy Z fold. Okay, moving right along. Let's see, what's next? What's the next plan? Let me just kind of tidy up the ship a little bit here so I can see what my next one is. We've got a couple more. Okay, so this next card, yeah, I've got a lot of pieces for this next card, but let's start with a little bit of chopping up of things. So the first thing I'm going to chop up is, so here's the card base. Nope, this is not the card base we are using. These are not the droids you are looking for. Okay, so this is the card base. We are going to use this one right here, and we're going to use a portion of this blue right here. And I'm also going to use one of the envelopes. So let me show you how I'm going to chop this envelope up. Well, thank you, Catherine. I'm glad you like that Z fold. It's always fun to give it a quick, easy little, Z fold action. Okay, so I'm going to start, and you've seen me do this just about every Upstyle class I do, and that is I like to break the envelopes down, and I start by just cutting those sides, just cutting a hairline off. So that's all I'm cutting off of the envelope, but it allows me to open this up. All right, so now the beauty of this is this white that's left over on these 2 sides and even in here is, it's good paper to use because then you know that it matches the paper pumpkin kit exactly. All right. So that's why I keep those, and that's why I cut them down easy like that so I don't waste any of it. Now, this is going to seem crazy, but I'm going to put my envelope in here, and I'm going to cut this side off, okay? I'm going to cut that off, and you're going to go, why? Well, because it's not the right measurement. Okay, so I've cleaned that up. Now, this piece needs to be 5.5 inches tall. So I'm actually going to kind of well, I'm just going to turn it over this way so you can see, but it needs to be 5.5 inches tall. Okay, so I've taken that end off. And then width-wise, well, we'll cut the next part down in just a minute. We'll save that. But I just wanted you to see, because it's a special measurement on the width. But we're going to be using this as a piece of paper for our card. And we're also going to cut that other one down. But let's actually do our card base first, and then that will help tell us what our measurements need to be. Okay, so I have 2 card bases here. One is already cut and scored where it needs to be. Okay. It's already cut and scored. This one is in Balmy Blue. And then I have another one here in Pool Party. So I'm just, oh, mama dog, stop. So I just haven't decided exactly which color I wanted to use. Both colors I think look great. So let me tell you the measurement of this, because I haven't scored this one just yet. This piece of cardstock here, it's Pool Party. It's 5.5 inches by 11. Okay, trying to get it fully into the screen here. 5.5 by 11. We are gonna make these scores on it, okay? So we're gonna score it 2 3/8, 6 1/4, and 9 inches. So let's open up the arm and our first score line, okay? 2 3/8. So we have 2 3/8, and this is a score, so get that cutter out of the way. 2 3/8. 6 1/4. Now 6 1/4 is right there where the arm, it's on that edge, right? That's 6 1/4. Score it. And now we're going to slide this over to 9. And that's our last score line. So now this one is exactly like my Balmy Blue. Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep both of them out here for a second. This is a fun, I like this fold. Now, it doesn't finish as 4 1/4 inches wide, so you can let things hang off the sides and still fit in one of the kit's envelopes if you wanted. Okay, so let's just fold this. I just turned it over so that I could fold. The first one is going to fold inward. Okay, this next one is going to fold inward. The one that was on the 9 inch is going to fold back. Okay. And so it actually, we just get some nice, it's just kind of a nice, it's a fun fold, a simple, clean, fun fold. Okay. So that's how it's starting. So now both of them are the same. Like I say, we can do it in Balmy Blue or in Pool Party. They're both going to look great. And the thing is, you're going to have enough stuff that you could make both of them, but I'm only going to do one of them for right now, obviously. So let's go back to this card here and to our envelope. So our envelope layer is actually going to be in this section right here. So our measurement is actually going to be, so we want this to be, there's 2 1/2, 2 5/8, oh, and then a 16th after that. So we're just going to do 2 5/8. So I'm turning this around because I want this edge. And so we're going to go to 2 5/8 right there. Okay. So now this piece is going to layer right there, right down on that section. And then to cover this one, we're going to need, let's see what our measurement is for this section. This section is going to be 2 inches. Okay. So, and you know what? Before I cut this one up, I have a piece left. So I had already, this is the piece that's left over because I had cut one for my sample here. So you're going to cut 2 inches off. But look, I have this piece here. So rather than cutting this one, I have a scrap there. I'm going to use this one instead. I was thinking, oh, that'll make a nice tag, but it's plenty wide. We'll just take 1/8 of an inch off of that. Okay. So now this is going to layer onto that piece right there. And then we just have, this nice bit of Pool Party showing. Now, I have the pieces. Let's see here. Bring all my pieces over. So see here, I have it ready to go in Balmy Blue as well. I love it in the Balmy Blue. The Pool Party is the kit color, but I really like it in the Balmy Blue. I'm going to finish it in the Balmy Blue, but I wanted you to see how I came up with my pieces for layering onto these and getting some pattern paper for them. All right, so keep going, Elizabeth. Stop yammering. All right, I have one more pretty major piece of paper that I'm going to add into this card. And this piece of paper, this is White Willow, and it's actually, I'm just going to kind of fold that out for a second. This is the piece that will go to the inside of my card base here, okay? So now, why did I choose to not use basic white? Why did I go with the White Willow? Now, the White Willow, it's a cooler white, and it matches the whites in our kits collections and paper pumpkin kits better. Let me show you against white. So here's basic white, okay, with the envelope paper here. So can you see that? And then here is White Willow. All right, it's not exact, but it definitely, to me, is better. I like it better. So let me know your thoughts on that and what you like. Okay, and then you can see I have some other pieces here. We'll talk about those in just a minute here, folks. But let's just get some of this glued down so that we can get it out of the way. All right, so here goes my piece from the card base. And this just layers right onto this section here. Just like so. Easy peasy. Get right to that edge. And then this one, and yes, there's that little line right there, but it doesn't really show, all right? But the other one, I couldn't get them to measure out, to line up just right. So that's why I kind of cut it the way I did. But you do you, and you cut it how you like it. Okay, so now let's have this little bit of greenery peeking from the bottom here. It's always fun when they give us a printed envelope, because then it gives us just a little bit more, new stuff, unique stuff that goes with it. Okay, Kathleen says, use the Balmy Blue. Thanks, Kathleen. Good to have you on here. See you. I've got like something stuck to my finger. Hold on here, folks. Okay. All right. So that's where our two colors are going to go. It's a little hard to see, but it has a nice contrast. I'm not quite ready to do this one just yet. We're going to hold off just a little bit on that, but let's work on putting this card together. So we have this piece from our card kit, right? And it's going to kind of come in here. And then I have die cut the circle here. This is White Willow, but I'm using a set of dies that I think is perfect with this particular set of this Nests of Winter. And I'll tell you why it's perfect. First off, this is why it's perfect right here. This banner right here, if you have stylish shapes, the largest banner in there is the exact same size as the tags, the banners in the kit. I don't have one handy. Well, let me just bring this tag back. So see this banner here? It's the exact same when you die cut it out. It's, pretty close. It's the same height. It's a little bit wider, but it's good for these images, these stamp images. So that's why I chose this one. So here's that die there. And then I just used the largest circle for this one. So that's where I'm getting my extra pieces here. And I have also die cut the word Mary. That is from the Mary Tags and More. So there's the word Mary. And I die cut it from red glimmer paper. This is the festive glimmer paper. This is in the September to December mini catalog. And it's just gorgeous. I love it. It comes in this bright real red, granny apple green, and garden green. And the cool thing is You get 2 sheets of each page. So you get a lot of perfect Christmas colors in that one pack. So Kayleen says, I agree on the white cardstock. The other white is better. Yeah. So it's kind of fun. I mean, who would have thought we needed 2 shades of white? Okay, and I also have a cardinal from the kit. So these are our pieces. And this is going to be a pretty straightforward look from the front here. We're just going to do something like this. And let's see, I do have one other piece that I die cut. Where did it go? Here it is. I see it. So this is also die cut from the White Willow. And this is, it's also from the Stylish Shapes. It's one of the smaller banners in there, okay? So we're gonna use that, and this is gonna come in here, and it's gonna be beautiful, all right? So let's first do our stamping here. Now I do need a piece of colored paper behind this, just so I can see what I'm doing. And this, we're gonna stamp the word Christmas on here, and it's gonna be a tight fit, a really tight fit. We're gonna stamp it in the shaded spruce. You could stamp in shaded spruce, you could stamp it in black memento, you could stamp it in red. But I kind of like, since the Mary is in red, I kind of like mixing it up and having a little bit of that shaded spruce in here as well. So this is a tight fit, get it all the way in there. But it's almost like a perfect fit. It's okay. There is the word Christmas. So that's the stamping we'll do for the front. Get my ink pads out of the way. And let's just start to kind of put some of this together. And I'm gonna bring in my Balmy Blue. We're gonna do just a little bit more stamping. And I get my cleanup pad here. And let's get the pine bough image. Kind of has a little bit of a nod to fern. Here it is. And we're gonna stamp this with some Balmy Blue. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is kind of, dry fit my layers here a little bit. Christmas, and then the Mary is just gonna kind of come right in here. So this is what we're headed for. But I wanna do, I'm just gonna kind of hold my finger right in here. It's a real technical way. I'm trying to hold my finger, but I gotta open the pad. Real technical way of going, okay, where am I stamping that now? So I'm just gonna add just a little bit of greenery right there. Pretty, it's subtle, it's cute. And another one right there. And so now this will just kind of come and layer in here. It just gives us a little bit more, right? This is a little higher. Okay, now that's coming in here. Yeah, all right. So let's put this together for now. Okay, so this piece, I'm actually gonna I could put it centered in the whole thing, but I'm gonna have it snuggle over to the left side just a little bit. We will put this on with dimensionals, for sure. So let's give a trim to these. Using up the sides here. Okay. So I'm just gonna flip this over, and then I know where to not. So this whole side, I can't have dimensionals there. We'll do that there. That's a perfect piece. Okay, here we go. So I have a question for you all. Do you stamp more Christmas cards or more Christmas tags? Just curious. All right, making sure that none of my dimensionals show. Perfect. Now we'll add this layer here. I'm gonna add this layer with glue, but be careful because it's gonna hang over the edges and you don't want that glue to be showing anywhere. So I'm gonna kind of bring this right up in here. Make sure we have that circle showing. Tags for sure, yeah. So I kind of like the way these two play off of each other. Okay, and I'm going to glue the bird as well. And the reason I'm going to glue the bird is because if I dimensional the bird, I'm going to have a hard time with the word Mary here. So that's why I didn't. Okay, and then that's going to come in here. Now, I am going to add some blue. Where's my blue? I thought I had a piece of blue out. I'm going to add some blue. Well, just cut another piece. Where did my twine go? Here it is. Here's the Natural Tones linen thread. Let's do some blue. Okay, because we have it. And I'm just cutting enough. Cut enough for the size of bow that you like. I always say that. You do you. Fran Ward says she does more cards. She sends out around 100, and then you make 100 for your local Veterans Hospital. That is so sweet to hear. That is really cool. Really, really cool. Are there any requirements or things that when you do those, can you just make them however you want? Or do they say, you know, because I know when I did cards for the troops, you couldn't have any glitter. You couldn't have anything that sparkled, because if they had them, they didn't want any of that sparkle to catch the eye of, you know. So I was like, okay, I understood that. But yeah, didn't know if there were any, like I say, requirements that you had to be aware of. Okay, and so this, I haven't totally decided, but I think this is going to come through underneath our banner here. Okay, kind of right in, give us a little bit of texture. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit. We've got a little bit of. I'm just going, do I want it under? No, it goes on top. Just making sure. It's kind of an interesting process if you've ever tried it. It's like, okay, I'm going to kind of have a plan for my cards, but I've made them in my mind, but I haven't like actually made them, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we will just kind of add this right in here. Well, maybe, let's just see here. Let me get this on. And then decide, shall we kind of come back under him? No, I think I'm going to go where I had it. You have to kind of play around. Okay, so Fran says, you just make them. You don't make much with glitter. Stampin' Up! New glitter paper does not rub off. That's right, which a lot of people appreciate. You know, I could care less if I have glitter like on my cheeks or my nose or wherever, because I'm kind of a glitter fiend. I like sparkle. I like shine. I know, and I'm way too old for it, but I don't care. It makes me happy. But I totally get how it can get out of control and be just a little crazy. Oh yes, I hear your words, totally. Okay. So I'm just kind of holding that down with that one glue dot. Now we'll glue this one down. This is like, I really want this to be on dimensionals, but because of my die cut here, that's why I'm not doing it my normal, kind of the way I normally would. But this is kind of a little bit with that. It's almost acting like a dimensional because of my linen thread in there, but it's working. It's working. It's holding. I just need to hold it for a second. Okay, I kind of like it. Now we'll add the word Mary, and I am going to do just teeny dots of glue. I usually have a precision glue out with me, but precision glue in that I have this glue in a little container that has just a precision tip, which I really enjoy, because then you can kind of get into all these little teeny spaces without having glue getting all over the place, if you know what I mean, right? We all do, yeah. Okay, that should be enough to keep it in place. We'll just kind of have that come right over. I'm going to come down just a little bit. It gets onto the words just a little bit, the word Christmas, but I think it's okay. That's a whole bunch of glue. Get rid of that. I like that. I like that a lot. This is a fun arrangement here. Really cool. All right, let's finish it off. I'm going to kind of straighten this just a skosh. Okay, let's finish it off with Wink, we must, and with a little bit of you know, this in our usual spots, the berries, a few places here and there. And let's add some gems to this. And then let's do a little bit of stamping and styling on the inside of this card using elements from the kit. Okay, so here are my faceted gems. These are pretty because they just go with everything. They go with everything. So I think I'm going to kind of do, let's do one there. That was a large. Here is a small. And I think I'm going to do 5 on the front this time. And we'll do kind of one right in here, tucking it under. Well, maybe tucking it under. And let's do another one. Maybe we'll do this one. Maybe we'll do that one there. And then let's do another one kind of right up in here. A little different. Okay, so that's how this, let me hold on. I'm thinking these berries need some loving as well. Let's just zhuzh this up a skosh. Fun. Okay, making sure it's all shiny and bright. So there is the front of our card. You guys, this in person, this is really pretty. And you know, I'm okay with not having all the dimensionals on there that we normally do. All right, for the inside, here's what I want to do. I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to take the bird here, and I'm going to give it a quick clean. And I'm going to stamp it in blue. And I'm going to stamp this section here that really is just kind of going to be, it's just going to be, you know, just kind of blank. It's not going to be where you would write anything. So I'm going to stamp the bird kind of right down in here. Yeah, I know his tail feather's not on the page, but I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to take the pine bough stamp and I'm going to clean that and I'm going to add some more of this. Okay. Now, this is not cardstock. It's envelope paper. I'm going to use it just as a quick mask for right now. I'm okay if I stamp on it. I can make more, but I don't want to stamp a Post-it note and cut it out while you're waiting. So I'm just going to use that as a mask so that I can add some greenery here behind it. Okay, and it's subtle. We'll do the same thing here. We'll stamp that off. And I'm pulling back just a little bit so it'll go right up to the edge. Okay, pretty. And you know what? You can't even tell I stamped that. And I'm going to color this with Wink. And when it dries, you'll still see the bird. Okay. I know it looks a little crazy right now. Just give it a second. I'm going to stamp just a little bit more greenery. Now this one, I'm going to do a little bit more full strength. So a little bit more shows up. And then I'm even going to do some kind of down in here. Okay. I might even come this direction. Just get some layering going in there. Speaking of layering, there are some cool berries in this. And there's also this little piece here that is just little speckles. And this is fun to just add a little hint of texture here and there. Just to kind of soften the edges. Maybe just a little bit more right there. It's one of those magic stamps. It just looks really good. It just kind of brings everything to life. Now, remember, there was one more piece of white willow, and that's this one here. And that's going to set inside. See, this bird looks cute now that it has a little wink of Stella in it. It kind of stands out just a little bit more. You could even do another grouping like right up in here if you wanted, but you know. So I am going to, let's see here. Let's get one of the, let me get into my box here. I still, you know what? This kit is really filled with a lot of stuff. And I still have quite a bit left. But I'm going to snag one of these. I want another one of these. I don't have any out right now. And I'm going to use this for the inside of my card. And we'll stamp this with that greeting from the, this one right here. It's just a perfect one. And so I think I'm going to stamp it with the shaded spruce. Since I stamped the Christmas in shaded spruce, I'm just kind of carrying that from the front to the inside. Okay. And so this is just going to go, I'm just going to put it dead center. Okay. Ta-da. Nothing major. Just keeping it simple. But I am going to continue to add a few more of these balmy blue. So we'll bring this. So let's just kind of see. We'll just add this up in here, right? Well, I could add it there, or I could even do it at the bottom. I think I'll do it up at the top, just to kind of counterbalance my bird stuff down here. But I'm just going to do some of these right there. Look how good that looks. It just kind of adds a nice background to, you know, it just gives this a little bit of a place where it stands out just a little bit more. So let me bring that a little higher and you can see. And if some of it doesn't show, just stamp it again, right? So like this side isn't showing, so I'm just going to stamp it one more time. It'll look weird how I do it here. But once we put this layer on top, that will kind of go away. But now it kind of filled that in a little bit more. So, all right, keeping it easy there. And let's bring, oops, I shut this a little too soon. I am going to do my little speckle images. I just like what happens once you have these here. It's just kind of a fun little added texture. Those are what I call money stamps or magic stamps because it just like, oh, I brought it to life. Let's put this on with dimensionals. And then we'll glue this in there. And this card will be done. And I have one more to share with you. And it's going to be a complete departure from what we've been doing. Okay, a little higher. Okay, I think that looks off-centered. I was going to say, I think that looks good. Okay. There we go. Easy, easy. Kind of fun. And we'll glue this to the inside and we will be done with this one. Unless we want to add a little sparkle to the inside on this page, which I do. I mean, come on, you know me. It's going to happen. Okay. So that's nice. I think it's just kind of a nice, pretty card. Fun, fun, fun. And we will stylize the inside. And you know what? I have a whole bunch of these. Why do I want to just look at them on a page? I'm going to go ahead and add a few to the inside because I think it'll just be kind of fun. So that was a large. There is a small. Okay. And so there's two there. And I think I will do one more kind of right in here. So now these three, and then we go back up again. So that one shows. So since I have this on dimensionals, it gives me a little room for those gems on the inside. So there we are, a nice fun fold. I think this would look good in the pool party as well, you know, because that's, I mean, this piece that goes right here comes from a card base that's pool party. So I'm going to put this one together and have two eventually. And now this last card that I mentioned, we're going to kind of venture out a little bit. And we're going to start with a white card base. And this is just thick, basic white. Basic, you know, your typical standard 8.5, 5.5. And then the score right in the middle at 4 1/4. So that's my first little bit there. Ooh, it's so fancy. And then I have a quarter sheet. It's a little less. It's 4 by 5 1/4. And I have already embossed this with one of the best embossing folders you can get right now. And that is the Forever Plaid. Look at this thing. It's monster sized. It's awesome. This is it's part of the Reindeer Days Suite collection. it's, you got to get this one, okay? When you are embossing with this one, you'll need your number 4 plate, okay? But I've already done it just for time's sake. I'm going to do a little bit of zhuzhing this up, and I'm going to use some bubble bath. So we're, like I said, this one's a little bit of a departure, but it's fun to see elements from any stamp set or sweet collection that's already in a color palette and to completely take it out of that color palette. It gives you a, you know, brings the whole thing to a new light, right? So I'm going to take my blending brush and I'm going to add some bubble bath ink here. Get rid of those harsh lines. Kind of hard to have harsh lines with bubble bath. But I'm just going to kind of add a nice haze of bubble bath to my embossed piece here. Now I'm a 50-50. Sometimes I will blend first and then emboss. And so the blending kind of goes in and through all those nooks and crannies. This one I'm blending after. So it's picking up the plaid embossed a little bit more than the lower places that aren't coming up at us, right? So anyhow, I'm just adding a fun haze of pink. So we're going to be pink, red, and white. Okay, so there's my haze of pink. Now, get your bone folders, and I'm going to pull out. Here are my bubble bath blends, light or dark, doesn't matter. I'm just adding some bubble bath splatter. Keep this nearby. And now we'll add a little bit of a red splatter. Now, when you add red splatters, be careful. You just don't want the red on white to look a little creepy. If you get my drift there. But by knocking on it, you're getting such a nice, even, you know, just a faint splatter that it's not too bad. You just don't want big splashes of red. It just, yeah. So it's a little bit in there, but it's given this a little bit of life and made it kind of fun. Now, I said we're going to go red and white. So from that a little bit festive, I have quite a bit of the red and white baker's twine left. And so I am going to tie this in a bow. Okay. And the reason I'm tying it in a bow first, because sometimes I'm going to color this. Sometimes it's easier to color twine when it's in a bow than when you have this big long piece. But my bow did not shape very well. So here we go. We've got a twist going there. So I'm going to try and contain that twist. So let's just give this a clip here. Okay, and I am going to make this be bubble bath and red. How fun is that? It's pretty cool looking. So you could use the light or the dark. This is the dark. And I'm just kind of coming down this. So there's that side. And then I'm just going to spin it and we'll get this side. Okay. And when I spun it, colored it, it decided to twist on itself all crazy. You can't twist. I don't want you to twist. I spend a lot of time, getting bows in twine and things to look just right. Okay, so there's that. And you might flip it over and see if it just needs a little bit more on that reverse side. But this actually kind of, it bled through to the other side nicely. Okay, I love it. Bubble bath and red. I'm going to do it again in the future because I like it. How cute would that be with a Valentine? So get your red and white twine while you can. Okay, because I don't know if that's going to carry over. But yeah, oh, so sweet. I love it. I'm going to trim this side. Okay, that's it on that. Hey, Maggie. Let's see here. Kathleen says she's got a ton of Stampin' Up! Stuff. Oh, awesome. From an estate sale for free. I have nowhere to put it all. So she'll have to pick and choose what she wants to keep. That's really, that's awesome from an estate sale. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Kind of a fun little gift. Okay, so we're going to just start to put our pieces together here. Now, I do have some pieces that I've been working with here. I did cut myself a tag. So this is from the Mary Tags and More. And look at this. I cut me some red glimmer fern pieces. Haha. Who says ferns have to be green? I don't. I want them to be in some red colors. From the Stylish Shapes, this is the banner piece that I said is the same size as, I'll bring this one back in. Let's see how, yeah, so it's a little bit, just a little bit longer than this one. But again, so that's a nice, going to be a nice fit for that. And I have, I found my blue linen thread. And I have one of the cardinals. So I stamped this on white and fussy cut it out. All right, so I have one here. And colored it just like I did the other one. Okay, so let's color this one. Let me finish clipping out his feet here. I didn't finish fussy cutting that. But here we go. We'll give this one a quick color because I haven't decided if I want 2 birds on this card or just one. Okay, so let's just do a quick color here. And we'll stamp our greeting as well. So again, we'll just use the pumpkin pie and a little bit of the Real Red. So this light pumpkin pie, that's all I'm doing. And then a real quick, I'm just kind of following along the top and bottom beak and then right there. And I'm just gonna let it blend and do its thing with light Real Red, just a quick color of the bird. And I'm giving the whole bird a layer of the light Real Red. Okay, like so, easy. And then we'll add a little bit of the dark into the wing, the tail feather, and I'm following these little lines that Stampin' Up! Gave us. Maybe the top right in there. So just add a little bit of that and then just come in, and if it needs a little extra blending, go back to the light and pull that color through. Soften that. Okay, there you go. So there are my 2 birds. And so my layout, first let's glue this piece on. That will make life easier. It's kind of a wild swoosh of glue there. Okay. So I will say, when you cut like a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of paper and then emboss it with the Forever Plaid embossing folder, it sometimes shrinks up more direction in one direction than it does in the other. And so you might have to retrim things. So this one I had to take a little bit off of the longer side just because it tightens up this way a little bit more than this way. So just look at it. And if you don't want that to be an issue, just tackle it, right? Just give it a quick trim. Okay, I'm going to add some dimensionals here. Okay. And we're going to add this to our card, kind of in this upper right corner. Okay. And obviously this is going to kind of go right in there. I love the red and pink. It's so sweet. And then this here, it could also come down if we want it to kind of cover that. We'll see. I plan for it to be there, but you never know how things kind of come along. And then kind of like our tag that we did at the beginning, we'll kind of have our ferns come that way. And then we will have our cardinal. And this is where I'm like, well, do I want a second one in here? You know, is there a buddy? Are we going to kind of do a couple of them just kind of perched in here? We shall see. We shall see. I feel like I want to move the whole thing down just a little bit. So I know I put this on, but I'm going to move it down just a skosh because it feels a little top heavy, but that should be good. Just a little bit. Okay. And so we are going to stamp the word, let's see, we want the Christmas, okay? And we're going to stamp this in red, real red, okay? And let's give it a quick clean though. And I'm just looking, do I need my Merry? Yes, I need my Merry Christmas as well. So we'll stamp the small little Merry and then the bigger Christmas here. So let's just put this kind of right in the center of our banner here. Uh-oh, I gotta fix that. I don't want that to get on my banner. Oh, and then I got red on there. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh well. It is what it is, handmade. There's the Christmas. And then we'll put the Merry. You see that? Somehow I was trying not to get red on it, and I got red on it. And I'm going to stamp the word Merry, kind of like I did that other one. I just kind of like the word Merry, the way it nestles above the end of the word Christmas. Okay, I do have a sand eraser out here. A little sand eraser. Let's see if we can get rid of this smudge. Sometimes if it's just kind of lightly been touched, it comes off pretty easy. And this is, so I'm just working it. Much better. Okay, we'll get the red out of the way. It's still a little bit there, but not bad. Okay, so now this will come here. And so, are we doing two birds or one? Should we have two kind of perched in here? Or just the one? Time for some flex. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so this one, just kind of get these in here. I don't know, two birds or one? Oh, I kind of think I like the two. You guys tell me. What do you like, two birds or one? Julie says time for flex with blends. So tell me, Julie, two birds or one? I need to know. Help me out. Okay, this is towards the bottom here. Two. Maggie says two. Thank you, Maggie. You're my helper. Okay, but before we get going, I'm going to kind of, when you add Stampin' Blends to your twine and stuff, it sometimes makes it stiff. And so I'm just loosening that a little bit with my thumbnail. And Julie says two as well. So Julie and Maggie, we're doing two. Julie says always better with a friend. Amen. So I'm going to add a little bit of a glue dot here. This is a pretty big glue dot. I'm going to kind of fold it over just a little bit. And mash my linen thread. And so it looks like it's going through the top of this tag, but it's just kind of, it's an illusion. Okay, so let's get my two birds together and see how they're going to, I kind of like one up, you know. So now that I kind of get them the way I want, I'm just going to hold these two together and use dimensionals to hold them where I want them placed, you know what I mean? We'll put one there. Move this one just a skosh. There we are. Okay, I'll do one more just for a sure thing. So Julie, I have your bowl and your little black cup from the dog food. It's all ready for next time you come back into town. Okay, or maybe I want to move these over a little. We're trying things here. We're getting gutsy. Maybe we're gonna go, oh yeah. And maybe this one's gonna come from way down. Or maybe even, I think I might even had one of these from behind at one point in time when I was playing with things. Anyway, so I have your bowl ready for you. And your little dog scooper. Dog food scooper. Okay, let me bring these off for just a second. That's where that little, yes, it was inside the dog food. Julie gave me, those dogs, my dogs ate that dog food so fast, it's gone. They loved it. In fact, they kind of went crazy. That pumpkin cake was excellent. Newell and I put a dent in that pretty fast. It was super, super moist. It was really, really good. Yep. Very good. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of reach this one in here, and I'm just going to kind of hold on to it until I get kind of the exact placement that I know I want those birds right in here. I haven't totally decided where I want this. We're going to go there. Just not, not having too much of it showing. Okay? Keeping it easy there. Let's add some wink and some gems. And I'm like, is it straight? It's an illusion. It's a little crazy. So we'll give a little zhuzh to this face, to their wings. I feel like I could even stamp like the berries and make them pink in there, but I'll refrain. I should have done that earlier. And I'm just going to play around for a second. Does it need? Nope, it doesn't. Not. You sometimes just have to try things, right? Go like, does it need that? I don't know. So I'm going to do a small gem there, and we'll do a larger gem right there. Just kind of fill in that area just a little bit. And then let's see. We'll do another, maybe right down. Maybe up here, yeah. We're going to do them there in a completely different spot than I thought. But we could do one there and then another one down here. So this is where I go, okay, well, I'll try them out, but I probably don't need them. But if I did one here, and then sometimes I do this and then I go, yeah, nope, it doesn't need that many. Yep, nope, it doesn't need that many. And I put them back on the sheet over here. Okay, I'm gonna just flick it. We'll sterilize and call it art. Hand-stamped love, right? So there is my pink and red Christmas card. Some a little different. Definitely I could stamp, some cute stuff on the inside, but we'll leave it at that for now because we are look at how many things we made in the 2 hours we were here. Let's just bring them all. Let me gather them all here so we can see what we did. All right, so we have our pink and red. I like this one. I like it. Thank you, Catherine. I think it's just kind of fun. It's different in the red. Here is our kind of our fold out, a fun fold there with the balmy blue. And then we did our easy Z fold with elements from the kit. Okay, there's that one. And we made, I like this tag. I like this tag a lot. And don't forget to look up your other Paper Pumpkin stamps. And we did our diagonal cut fold here, the magic card. Okay, we need to stamp an inside, but look at that. The linen thread like I say, use that little puddle of glue. You can't even see the glue anywhere. Makes it nice. And then our very first, kind of just a riff on what Stampin' Up! Planned, but we just took it in a slightly different direction. So here are just a few up-styled projects for today. I will get these photoed and posted tomorrow. Thank you, Fran, for your comment. I appreciate it. We'll do it again next month. Let me just say that Upstyle Your Pepper Pumpkin, I think, is on December 5th, and today is November 7th. Do you know what today is, folks? It's Thursday, November 7th, and it is Kayleen Murray's birthday. So a big, huge happy birthday to Kayleen. You will need to check the mail in a couple days. Your birthday present is in the works. It's here, it's wrapped, it just needs to get to the post office. After Tuesday's election and working that all day, I was wrecked yesterday. So I've recovered now. But anyhow, thanks for being here. We will meet again next week in the Backstage Pass for our Use It Up class, Nests of Winter. So we may see some similar things. Thank you for shouting out to Kayleen, Maggie. That's nice. Yes. Happy birthday. I would sing, but you might, I don't want to hurt your ears. So anyhow, have a good one, folks. Good to have you here. Happy birthday, Kayleen. Bye-bye.